Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, the 11th of May already. Boy, time is marching on. We're going to say good morning to our friend John Dick, school board member for Monroe County School District, to lead right off the bat. And also, we will be getting an update on the fires in the Upper Keys that was interrupting our traffic throughout the day. So, John, you're in the Upper Keys. Have you seen any smoke or effects of the brush fires happening up on
No,
the
not
Carson?
yet. I mean, actually, I'm in the Middle Keys, really.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Marker 58. So, but I've been outside, of course, and I didn't. I guess the prevailing winds are not very strong, so I don't smell anything either. A lot of times, it's the fires up there. Boy, you could smell it the minute you get out. But
Yeah.
light winds, so I guess that's why we don't know about it.
Yeah, indeed. Well, John, thanks for getting all dressed up and everything this morning, too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, at this time, normally I've got dirty shirts on because I've already been out doing yard work and picking up palm fronds and all of that. So, you've interrupted my cycle. I went and so what I'm going to do after this, while I'm dressed, I'm going to use it and I'll go to the store and do my shopping for the day and then come back and get dirty. But, then you put me into the warmer part of the day now so you're not, you thank God I don't have to do this every day.
Well, you have sacrificed for public service for many, many years, and you continue to do so. So this will be your last term on the school board then.
Right. There's a lot of last things happening for me now. And it's fine. I understand it. Just recently we had the employee banquet and for 20 years I've been going to them. 2 years we did them online with COVID and all that.
Mm.
And it was the last one that I went to. And of course, I'm the chairman right now. So when the chairman goes, they ask him to say a few words, and I said a few words to the district of the staff, and not about me leaving. I didn't bring that up, but it was nice. So it was a good way to end with that one. It's always good during the school year. You hear things, some things good, some things not good. But then when you get to see all the employees that were the teachers of the year for each school and all that, it's really a nice thing. So it's a good
Yeah,
way. And then, of course, now we're heading into the graduations.
we sure are. Unbelievable. So just a few weeks away then, excuse me, and we are completing our first school year as the A+ rated school districts, excuse me, and another successful year. Graduation rates continue to increase, and we'll soon have them donning the cap and gown. So,
Well, we've been A+ district before in the past. It's gone up and down. I don't think we've ever been below a B. We've either been A or B, I think, since they started that. I don't think that we've ever been a C district. I would be pretty sure we've only been A and B, and it's nice now to be back up in A. That's where we belong. And Mr. Tierney has said we're going to become the number one district. In other words, there is also a numerical figure that determines whether you're A's and B's and all that. And so we're going to be moving on up in that, and he wants us to be the number one with the highest score. So that's a great goal, and my last few months I will help to do what I can to make sure that goal gets there. But
yeah. Mhm.
as we speak, well, another good thing is happening in Monroe County. The Key West Fire Academy is having their graduation in Key West. These are students that have gone to the Fire Academy, and they're going to be graduating from school also, and going to work for the fire departments, and that's a great thing. Students have a job here when they graduate, so that's really a nice thing.
Yeah, and we often talk about the trades too. First responders are not necessarily the trade vocations per se, but college is not always the immediate path that some choose, and many prosper doing otherwise.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's and these are jobs that they can stay here and do, and they're good paying jobs. I mean, I don't want to say they can jump out and buy a house right away. They'll have to do some good investing also, and maybe when they get married and you have a companion. your two incomes, you can start to buy houses down here, but it's tough no matter what. It's tough.
Hmm.
Back to graduations, this coming Saturday, we have the Take Stock graduation. That's
Mm.
always a great thing. That's Marathon. It takes place at Marathon High School at the auditorium. It's for all three high schools and anybody from the local. It's not even our schools. If they're graduating from Take Stock, they come to that graduation. So
Hmm.
that's at 11 o'clock, and it's always great to see that. It just seems every year there's more and more of them, and then, when they come back, students come back and talk about it. I don't know who's going to be the guest speaker yet, but sometimes it's a previous graduate that has gone on to bigger and better things and comes back and speaks as the speaker for the Take Stock graduation. And
Mm.
then of
Mm.
course, on the 27th, 28th, 29th, that's the three in a row graduations, Carl Shores, Marathon, and Key West. Carl Shores, of course, on Wednesday, Marathon on Thursday, Key West on Friday. Both the Carl Shores and Marathons at 7 o'clock, and Key West is at 8 o'clock. They got to be different. So they're
Hmm.
at 8 o'clock, and that, of course, that one's out in Tommy Roberts Stadium, and I think that's the reason why they want to be a little later.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, yeah, and that makes perfect sense. Again, John Dick, he is a school board member on Good Morning Keys, school board, of course, Monroe County. Also, good news was received just last week, I believe. Congressman Carlos Jimenez was in our district, and he gave a formal check presentation to the school district for $3 million in federal funding for historic Reynolds School restoration. We've been talking about trying to rehabilitate Trumbo building for affordable housing for the district and moving the administration out of that building. It's a bit overdue, I'd say, but it looks like we've got a good little kickstart there with the federal funds.
it's happening. Yeah, they're gathering up funding as much as we can get from grants and from different sources to rehabilitate the building that we have to go into. And I think it's definitely gonna happen. And how fast? I think within a couple of years you'll see us out of Trumbo Point and into the new building. Of course, I
Mm.
won't be on the board then, but it's been going on for years and years and years. From the day I got on the board 20 years ago, they were talking about affordable housing and
Mm.
up and
Mm.
down. But it's a little tough thing for us. I still, on the housing part, because it's our funds are for the tax money we collect is for our job of teaching students. Now, of course, if we have to require building housing to get teachers here, I understand that too. But the problem with that is, what if you don't fill the housing? They're not going to let it go empty, and the next thing you know, you have other people coming into the houses. Now they say you want to go with police, firemen, and all other government entities, but no matter what, they're going to fill that housing, and the last thing I would ever want to see is us subsidizing the local businesses with our taxpayer money to put local people, business people into the housing. But
Mhm.
once you give it to it, you have to give it. We're not going to run housing. That's not our position, our job. So you have to give it to another private entity to run it, and they're going to fill it no matter what.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's a good first step, but the other thing that has been accomplished is continuing to increase the teachers' salaries. Are we still the top
Yes.
starting salary in
Yeah.
the state, right?
Far as I'm concerned, we still are. I'll have to check it as as every year. Um, the new union contracts with the districts, but we were pretty far ahead on all of them, and I don't think anybody's touching us. That's something I ran on from the day one that I got on the school board. Was I said this district was the highest funded district in the state of Florida. They still are. They get more money per student than any other district in the state of Florida. And when I first got on the board, we were paying our teachers probably in the middle, in the average of what the Florida state was. And I kept pushing on that, and And every superintendent I went through, we really, they reacted to it, and we've been for a couple of years now, as we should be, the highest paid. I still think we need to get more because I do believe we still have way too many positions in not only in the administration, but even in the schools. I think, they kept some of these positions that were created in COVID. The money is run out, and people have to understand,
Mm,
the money, we have X amount of dollars, we can't find more. And every time you have a position, it takes away from everybody else.
mm,
And so when we got all that, the feds were throwing money all over the place during COVID, and they said you had to create these jobs, we created them. But some of them are still here, and the money is no longer coming. So that means it's coming from everybody's salary.
mm,
And
hmm.
I keep hammering that home to everybody, but we'll see.
How are we doing as far as funding, budgeting going into even the next fiscal year? You're hearing about declining enrollment statewide, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Are we okay in terms of
we
numbers and funding?
we will. The funding from the state has gone up a bit. It's not finalized all yet, I think, but we know we're going to get more money per student. The question, of course, is how many students will we have? And at this point, we're working on a number that's almost, it's a little bit lower, but what we will now, on before June, well, I guess by July 1st, we will have determined the amount of positions we have. And then what happens after that is if some of these students that we think are coming don't come, that puts us in a bind because we've already created the position and hired meaning a teacher. We have X
Mm,
amount of teachers in every school for X amount of students. Then when you come to August, the middle of August, if X amount of students don't show up, it can be a problem for us. We can't tell a teacher now you don't have a job at that point.
Now, John Dick again with us. He is a school board member for Monroe County Schools. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And speaking of teachers, John, we did take the moment with Ed Tierney on the air to recognize our Teacher of the Year. And I was going to, yep, that is Paula Mercer, Key West High School. She is AP Government and Economics teacher at Key West High. Also, do want to take a moment to make that Principal of the Year, Key Largo School, Mr. Darren Pius, I
Yeah,
believe, if I've said that correctly.
Darren,
And, yep,
Darren
and
Pace.
Pace, excuse me. Thank you for that. And Assistant Principal of the Year, also naming further administrators and the like. Assistant Principal of the Year, Jacob Pol. You're going to have to help me there. Polma, I believe, if that
Yeah,
makes, yep. And CS, that would be Coral Shores, of course. So,
right.
congratulations. Yeah, very good. So, again, continuing to recognize exceptional teachers. We have many exceptional teachers throughout the district. I think last week was Teacher Appreciation Week as well. So, want to
Yes, it
recognize.
was, and I can attest to that because the Monroe Marathon American Legion Post sponsored one of the breakfasts. And we paid $500 for breakfast at Marathon High School for all the teachers.
Thank
So
you for
I
that.
know about that.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
yeah,
Thank
all the
you. Yeah.
schools up and down the Keys, and it's really fantastic to see what the communities do. All the communities, they provide foods and gifts and whatnot for the teachers in all the schools. It's really, really impressive.
Well, and we want to recognize you for your 20 years of service to the school district and the school board and your military service to our country as we get ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United
Yeah,
States. So thank you. It's
big deal.
gr-
That's a big deal. That 250 years, right?
yes, it is. So, John, it seems like when I talk to you frequently, you are just getting done with yard work, etc. Any thoughts as to what you'll be doing with your time once you rotate off the school board, besides maybe more yard work?
I'll do and I might go fishing a little more often.
Good for you. Good for
I,
you.
I just might do that. No, I'll keep busy. I stay busy. I can assure you of that. Maybe I'll figure out a way that coconuts won't fall from the tree. They'll fall right into the garbage pail, or else they'll go right to a guy that the guys that come around and take them. Instead of me picking them up.
Well, you figure that out, you will be very wealthy as a result. But
as long as one of them doesn't hit me on the head while I'm doing it.
Let's hope not. Well, anyway, we're looking at end of second semester. Early dismissal is just around the corner, May 29th. Unbelievable, as indeed. Professional day, no students June 1st, as you mentioned, the graduation happening that week. And then we've got a school board meeting, Key West City Hall, June 9th. And summertime, as we know, is when the facilities kind of kick into high gear, getting everything done. Pat LaFear and others very busy over those couple of months. So
painting, and we've done a better job of it as the years have gone by, because so many times over the years, especially earlier, the school system would start on the first day, whose air conditioning's not working, and it really is. It's been much better lately. The last few years, we don't have complaints right away of what's not working, and of course then they're doing the painting and cleaning up over the summer. So that's a big deal. They do that up and down the Keys, and all the schools. There's always some painting needing, and you're right about getting things done when there's no students in the school is a lot easier. That's true. But
yes, it is.
Air conditioning problems, especially in August, it's a little brutal.
Yeah. Well, understandable. But John, thank you so much for being here. We're going to let you get off to the store and do some other things today. But if there's anything else we should mention, please let's do so at this time.
No, I'm fine. I'm very, very happy. I'm glad to have served this county school district in the county for so many years. It's a great place to be, and I'm very happy we're here.
Yeah, well, we're happy you're here and have been here as well, John. Thank you so much for your service on so many levels, and we will talk again very soon.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, you have a wonderful day, John. Thanks for being here. John Dick, school board member, Monroe County School District, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, looking at a couple of accidents currently. An accident with no injuries, 1571 Overseas Highway, La Nina Market and Delhi. That is just southern end of Marathon. And again, no injuries being reported there. That was reported in about a half hour ago, but still an active scene. Also an accident with no injuries, Tavernier Creek Bridge. That's 90.8 mile marker. Plantation Key, that was just called in about 10 minutes ago. But again, no injuries there. Both incidents could be causing some slowdowns. Also keep in mind intermittent closures of Card Sound Road and even US 1 at times due to brush fires in that region. We'll be talking with Captain David Smith about that and other matters related to the Sheriff's Department in just a few minutes. We'll be back with more of Good Morning Keys. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
It's almost time. The Lower Keys Chamber of Commerce 33rd Annual Dolphin Tournament is happening June 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hook your chance at a $10,000 grand prize for the largest dolphin caught, plus cash prizes for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, awesome trophies, and extra prizes just for the youth division. Sign up before the end of May to save $50 on your registration now at lowerkeyschamber.com or call 305-872-2411. Sponsored by Lower Keys Tackle and the Monroe County Tourist Development Council.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue continued the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Attention Key West! The Rotary Club of Key West invites you to step into the Speakeasy as they present the Roaring Twenties Casino Night, Saturday, May 16th from 6:30 to 11 p.m. at Beachside Resort. This isn't just another fundraiser, it's your night, Key West, where the clinking of conch chips meets the swell of live jazz from the Key West Jazz Society, and where every roll of the dice and flip of a card sends another local student closer to their dreams. Enjoy tastings and sips from Naughty Beach Rum and El Bandito Tequila, as well as non-alcoholic beverages, a 360-degree photo opportunity, a live raffle and auction, prizes for the best costume, and of course, what's a casino night without a variety of casino games? Proceeds from this event funds Rotary Foundation scholarships, giving our community students the support they deserve. Pre-sale early bird tickets available now for $100, which includes $150 in conch chips, or purchase at the door for $150, which includes $100 in conch chips. Step back in time for the Key West Rotary Club's Roaring Twenties Casino Night, Saturday night, May 16th. For tickets and more information, visit kwrotarycasinonight.org. Special thanks to title sponsor Hank's Hair of the Dog Saloon.
In Key West, getting around should feel simple, and it is, with Key West Transit by your side. For years, we've helped locals and visitors move through the island with ease, and we're here to keep you moving forward. Whether you're catching the Workforce Shuttle, riding the Lower Key Shuttle, or booking a quick trip with Key West Rides on Demand, there's a ride that fits your day.
Wherever you're headed, start your trip at kwtransit.com. That's kwtransit.com.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, and a busy morning here, the 11th of May, and we had some traffic incidents up and down the Keys. Also following the developments with the Upper Keys and the brush fires happening there. For that, up to the moment, we go to our newsroom. AJ will bring us up to date. AJ, what's happening in the traffic in the Upper Keys, please?
Well, Michael, as you mentioned, the two accidents, the first one in the Marathon area at the La Nina Market, the second one, Tavernier Bridge. Keep that in mind if you're headed those directions. Card Sound Road and the South Dixie Highway, both are open this morning. They did have part of the South Dixie Highway closed this morning. That is causing some major delays on Card Sound Road. But again, both of those roads are open. So if your travel's taking you to the mainland, plan on a few extra seconds.
Thank you for that, AJ. And we'll keep you up to date as things change from the newsroom live and up to the moment. Right now, we're going to check in with Alex Osborne. Alex is live in the studio with us this morning. Good morning to you, Alex.
Good morning.
Hi there. How's it going today?
Doing well. How about you?
Oh, very well. Thank you. And you'll see if you do go to Zoom later on. Actually, it's Keys Living TV. Make that channel 27 locally from Marathon to Key West. Also, worldwide Roku streaming, Keys Living TV, and the app available in your favorite app store. You will see Alex and I sitting kind of close here, actually, to make sure that he gets in the Zoom shot for television. You can see at 11 a.m. this morning, 5 p.m. this afternoon. The reason we have Alex in the studio is he is running for Mosquito Control Board District 2. So, Alex, just give us a little bit of your background here. You have been in the Keys for how many years now?
40 years.
40 years.
Yep.
So, born here or almost?
I was born in Miami.
Okay.
We moved to Key West when I was a year old. My parents fell in love on their honeymoon here and wanted to move here. So.
Very good. Well, I was going to say you don't look a day over 40, so I knew it was pretty close to moving here versus you being born. But as mosquito control is certainly something that all of us are concerned about and deal with, because mosquitoes are a part of the environment, a part of life here. So let's talk about a little bit of your background, what you've done as far as a career, and then what has led up to this decision to run for Mosquito Control Board.
I attended the University of Miami School of Architecture, and after some kind of bouncing around with commercial fishing locally, my wife and I started a small architecture firm together, which we've had now for a little over 10 years. We do a lot of work locally. My wife's on the HARC board, and we're obviously engaged in the community. One of the things that we do a lot with our firm is we try to find ways to get things approved, right? To move things forward. The way I think that would relate to mosquito control is I feel like we need to go further. I think we need to do more, communicate more with other entities. South Florida Water Management District is one. I think these different agencies need to cooperate to help us do our job better.
Okay. Alex Osborne, he's running for Mosquito Control Board District 2. You can find out more. Alex Osborne 4, the number 4, mosquito.com. Talking with Alex this morning in the studio. So you talked a little bit about the principles that would guide your decision making. Anything else in your background that would help you if you were to, come to this position as far as the principles that have guided you to date?
Well, this is a big one. I hate mosquitoes.
Okay. All right.
I want to eradicate them. And I know that's a bold statement, but when the mosquito control was founded, it was initially called the Anti-Mosquito District. Now we call it mosquito control. I feel like we've moved away from trying to eliminate mosquitoes, which was our initial charge. And I want to get back to that.
So it's your feeling that they're not doing that now as far as eliminating mosquitoes versus eradicating, et cetera?
I think we have a great staff. Andrea Leal has done an excellent job there. Even the board that's there now, they've done great. I think we need to go forward. It's been the same for a while now. They're doing great. Let's take the next step.
Okay. Let's talk about term limits as well then. That's part of your platform.
That's a major concern of mine in politics in general. I'm a 2-term limit kind of guy. I think we need to limit how much time people spend in these elected positions.
Okay. Alex Osborne, he's running for Mosquito Control Board. Alex Osborne 4, the number 4, mosquito.com. Interagency coordination, you had mentioned that a little bit. Talk a little bit more about that. What can be done as far as interagencies and other agencies that maybe should come to the fold, in your opinion?
That's kind of a long way of saying we need to communicate better. I think we need to communicate with South Florida Water Management District. They send water our way. Mosquitoes breed in water. We obviously need to know when that's happening. I don't think it happens enough. I know there are some individual efforts that occur, but we need more of that. Obviously, the mosquito control does coordinate with Fish and Game, Florida FWC, but I think we need to include all agencies. One thing we don't do is we don't treat conservation land. And, there's obviously good reasons for that. We're trying to conserve, environmentally friendly areas. However, I think there's other ways that we can treat those areas, for instance, with traps, where we're not actually spraying insecticide on conservation areas, but we could at least do something to try and get those populations of mosquitoes down so they're not affecting where people live.
Yeah, Alex Osborne, he's running for Mosquito Control Board District 2. Alex Osborne 4, the number 4, mosquito.com. So you mentioned traps, et cetera. There's a lot of technology used in mosquito control. But one thing that you are opposed to, it seems, is GMO experiments. Let's talk about that.
Oxitec. Everybody knows about Oxitec. Interestingly, it was approved by the majority down here, except for certain districts disapproved of the Oxitec experiment. I felt like we didn't have enough information when we made those decisions. Learning about the Oxitec, process, they treat male mosquitoes with X-rays and then release them, and that sterilizes them. So they release them and they mate with females, and they have non-viable offspring. That scares me. I understand that the science backs the the trials. I still think we need more time to understand that better. There are other options. The Wolbachia bacteria that they can infect the mosquitoes with. It's a naturally occurring bacteria, which does the same thing. Basically, it allows male mosquitoes to not have viable offspring. I think that's something we should look into.
Okay. Alex Osborne running for District 2, Mosquito Control Board on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the entire Keys. And so you mentioned the GMOs, you do that differently. What other types of technologies or techniques or even policies of mosquito control would you do differently or approach differently from how they've been?
again, I feel like the mosquito control does do a great job. We have experienced professionals that work there. I think we need to work with them more, get them more involved in the policy making, as opposed to a top-down approach of a board that tells the mosquito control what they're going to do. I think we should have more interaction with our own staff, which we pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. No, I appreciate that. So as far as what was the other question I was going to ask you? So what other messages would you like to give to the voters? Let's put it that way.
Vote. Please get out and vote. Mm-hmm. It's very important to vote in our primary elections where we have the least turnout. A lot of these elections this round are going to be decided at the primary. So we need people to get out and vote. That happens on August 18th. Please participate.
And Alex, you've been a successful architect and you were a graduate, University of Miami. There's probably a lot of people in the audience who love you for that. Some others might not, but we've got a lot of Seminoles and the like, but a very good school and education. You're a husband, proud father of 2 boys. You have a seemingly very successful life thus far. What made you want to jump into politics, can I ask?
I want to participate. Okay. I feel like we don't participate in politics enough and we complain about it. So, I think anyone thinking about it should get involved and try to make things better.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you. You've been very gracious to our listeners. You've been very gracious to the whole process, et cetera, and we appreciate that very much. Anything else, though, that you would like to say that we've neglected at this point?
No, I think we covered it all. Thank you.
Okay. Well, there's volunteer opportunities to get behind the campaign. You can find out more, Alex Osborne, 4mosquito.com, Alex Osborne, 4mosquito.com. And congratulations on your first venture into radio as well. I never would have known you have not done it before. So yeah, very good. Well, again, I'm sure you'll see Alex out and about, and you can find out more online as mentioned. And we will let you get back to another busy Monday. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in and visit with us this morning, Alex.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Alex Osborne, 4mosquito.com. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
The Key Largo Chamber of Commerce invites you to join them for their exciting monthly networking events. Members and non-members alike can enjoy a monthly networking luncheon on the second Thursday of every month, as well as an evening Members in Motion event on the fourth Thursday of the month. To register for Key Largo Chamber of Commerce events or to find out more information about this vital growing business organization, go to keylargochamber.org. That's keylargochamber.org.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Hey folks, it's Stephen Bender at Key West Toyota. With record sales and our largest inventory ever, we've got the Toyota for you. And with our local deal match guarantee, you'll get the right deal without the Miami hassle. So come see the people you know, like, and trust at Key West Toyota on the Boulevard or at keywesttoyota.com. We've got the keys.
Key West is on the move with Key West Rides. Our transit service is customized for your transportation needs. With the Key West Rides app, you choose your bus stop pickup and drop-off locations, and you ride the bus on your own schedule. You can book a ride for now or book one for later. Key West Rides operates daily from 6 a.m. to 8:15 p.m. Download the app now and customize your ride with Key West Rides.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And it's about 8:50 now. We're going to go back to the newsroom quickly for a traffic update. AJ, what's the traffic look like so far?
Still working those two accidents that we talked about earlier. The first one in Marathon in front of the La Nina Market. The second one south end of the Tavernier Creek Bridge. It also looks like authorities are going to shut down the South Dixie Highway again, at least one lane in both directions. So Card Sound Road going to pick up here again. Keep in mind, there's also an accident now on the mainland where Card Sound Road and the South Dixie Highway meet up. That has been active for a couple of minutes now. They should be clearing that soon, though. AAA already on the scene.
Okay, thank you from the newsroom, AJ, giving us updates on the traffic. Well, we're going to go right to the authorities that he referred to, Captain David Smith with Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Hello, Captain. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning to your listeners.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here, sir. So it has been a busy morning. I know you've been in contact with Captain Brian in the Upper Keys, who's been consistently monitoring the situation, but this began yesterday with a brush fire.
Yes, sir. So as of this morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, he had a meeting with both on the Miami-Dade side. So right now, both Cart Sound and US 1 are currently open. The concerns they're doing today, meeting about, are the neighbors south of 344 of the road. So, and tomorrow the winds seem to be out of the north. So they're concerned the fires can jump and push south to Cart Sound Road. So they're going to keep meetings throughout the day and just keep Adam updated. And also, I said to the listeners, please download our app and check our Facebook, because as Captain Brian gets up to date, he will push it down to Adam, and then we'll push it out via our app.
Okay, well, we'll keep people posted on that. We'll provide updates throughout the day on the air as well as on our Facebook pages. It is Captain David Smith with us, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, on Good Morning Keys. So we did have a death of a local woman near Little Palm Island with a propeller strike, it's my understanding.
Yes, this is an extremely sad situation. And the lead agency on these boat incidents or accidents is FWC. So the sheriff's office was first on scene, and then all the scene gets turned over to FWC. So they're the lead investigation of this boat strike. I don't have any information, so it all turns over to FWC.
Yeah, understood. Well, yeah, very sad situation there. Apparently there was a diver down flag in the vicinity, but we'll find out what's going to happen following that ongoing investigation. There was a woman arrested for hitting a deputy. We often talk with the sheriff about the hazards of being a deputy and what can occur on the job. Well, a 43-year-old Port Charlotte, Florida woman arrested on May 9th for hitting a sheriff's deputy on Big Pine Key. No serious injuries reported, thankfully. But she has been charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest, possession of 1.4 grams of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, tampering with evidence, and being in a park after hours. So she apparently then attempted to pull away and resist, knocked off the deputy's glasses, grabbed and struck him during the struggle. So this kind of escalated pretty quickly, and she's going to have to pay the price for this.
Yes, sir. So the sheriff's office is doing patrol around the Pine Channel Park. That's in Big Pine. It's the new beautiful park right when you get into Big Pine as you're traveling northbound. So it closes around sunset. So around 10:26 p.m., the deputy was doing foot patrol inside the park and noticed Miss Graham seated at a park bench. As he walks up to her, he can smell a little bit of an odor of marijuana, and then he notices that she has a grinder on the table. So this is all in plain view. So when he tries to get her ID, she doesn't want to give him any ID, doesn't want to, cooperate with his commands. So he goes to put her into custody, and she starts resisting. She turns around and slaps him in the side of the head, knocking his glasses off. Now, I will tell you, this deputy is a rather large man. And like the sheriff always says, there is these dangers. It's always an unknown, so he's out there by himself. So, and you never know what kind of substances these individuals are already on. So she was probably hopped up on some unknown substance, to include marijuana, and she decided to get a little aggressive, smacking the deputy in the side of the head. He's completely fine. He has a little bit of a red ear, but he was able to unholster his taser, give her verbal commands. She complied after seeing the taser. He holstered up, was able to cuff her up and take her into custody safely, and now she's staying down here at the Rick Ramsey B&B.
Okay. Captain David Smith with us, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We often talk about resource cases as well. The Sheriff's Office and the state's attorney's office work very hard to protect our resources and hold those accountable who would violate those resources. Well, Marine Deputy William Guerrera issued a mandatory notice to appear in court, citation to an individual out of Green Acres, Florida, possession of undersized spiny lobster, and possession of out-of-season lobster as well. So we will continue to enforce our resource laws to make sure that those resources are protected.
You're 100% correct on this. This is Willie Guerra in the Middle Keys. This guy is a King Neptune when it comes to resource violations. He does them all. He's seen everything. He's a senior deputy. When you talk about resource, he's the ground zero for enforcing these resource violations. And we do work very well with the state attorney's office. They get prosecuted. There is, with the sheriff, zero tolerance for this. You come down here and try to devastate our resources and our beautiful reefs. So Deputy Guerra issued a mandatory notice to appear to Mr. Gene, 39, from Green Acres. He had possession of 2 undersized spiny lobster and possession of out of season. As we know, mini season is coming up in July. So he was issued the citation. They took all the lobsters into custody for evidence, and now he has to come back down here for court.
Well, yeah, as it should be. Again, it is Captain David Smith from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office on Good Morning Keys. Another battery case. Luckily, it was not perpetrated against a sheriff's deputy, but by another individual on an individual. Apparently, there was a domestic dispute happening on Maloney Avenue, Stock Island, and domestic cases can escalate very quickly. Apparently, a male teenager tried to intervene between a male and a female. That teenager was then attacked by the suspect and thrown to the ground, choking him as well. Again, that perpetrator, assailant, was taken to jail also.
Yes, sir. And like the sheriff's always said, alcohol is involved in this situation, and alcohol is never a good solution to anything. So a 33-year-old man from Stock Island was arrested for choking a teenager. And this is a felony battery, a felony for the choking and strangulation. So Mr. Sanchez was charged with domestic battery by strangulation, which is a felony. On Maloney Avenue, the teenager stepped in when him and his mother was having a verbal argument and started getting physical. So this is a son that steps in to try to protect his mom, and then this male turns his aggression on the juvenile by strangling. Good thing deputies were able to show up. And the juvenile has minor abrasions and some discoloration around his neck, but he was taken into custody and put where he belongs, in the jail.
Okay, Captain David Smith with us, Monroe County Sheriff's Office on Good Morning Keys. And we also had another incident in the Upper Keys, Gilbert's Resort. A man apparently charged with unattended child, I guess that would be child neglect, that is, disorderly intoxication, resisting arrest, battery, and assault. And you mentioned alcohol, Captain. That was definitely involved in this case as well. About 3:30 in the afternoon, an intoxicated man with a small child. He was yelling, causing a disturbance at the scene of the resort. And apparently he left his child, was left at the beach and resort area, beach area of the resort, make that. And that is not a good thing by any account. He also was going after employees, deputies, etc. And, very appropriately, he's also off to jail, too.
Right. As in any situation, even when children are involved, this is sad. But now you have one male that has a little too much to drink and starts getting hit with this disorderly intoxication, starts going after staff, starts yelling at staff, all these vulgarities. So the sheriff's office shows up to Gilbert's Resort at approximately 3:30 p.m. regarding this intoxicated male and a small child who was yelling and causing a scene at the resort, He was declined by servers for additional alcohol, as learning the child was already left alone on the beach in the swim area. So as employees were trying to take care of the child, the man became more belligerent. So Mr. Ortiz was taken into custody, and now he stays at the MCSO Airbnb over here. The family member was contacted, and the child was picked up. So Florida Department of Children and Families was also notified when any children are involved in any kind of crime. We also notified DCF.
Yeah. Wow. Very unfortunate. But again, hopefully there'll be a good outcome, especially for the child in this case. So, Captain, we often talk with your agency and with the sheriff about interagency cooperation. Well, there was an investigation that led to an arrest. It was in combination with detectives with law enforcement in Broward, Charlotte, Miami-Dade, and Osceola counties, as well as Mooresville, North Carolina, that started with the investigation into the theft of a $14,400 valued sewer camera. I didn't know there were such things, but that was stolen from a Marathon rental business. Apparently, this suspect has done this in the past and at other places. When he was captured, he was found to be in possession of multiple fraudulent driver's licenses, as well as licenses belonging to other individuals. And he was moved from the Miami-Dade County Jail to Monroe County. So a lot of cooperation between agencies to bring this person to justice after having done this apparently in the past.
Right. So this is a great example of the long arm of the law. Like the sheriff always says, our cooperation, our interagency cooperation, and all of our cooperation throughout the state and throughout the country, more charges are going to be put on Mr. Richard. So what he was doing was taking fraudulent IDs, renting equipment from these, whether you're Sunbelts and all these other places that rent equipment, and he would not return it. He would go and sell it to whether it be pawn shops or other entities. And so he was stealing about $14,400, like you said, the sewer camera and other equipment. So this investigation was a very lengthy one, but the detectives reached out to other agencies: North Carolina, Mooresville, Osceola County, Miami-Dade, Broward, Charlotte, and was able to charge him with all these crimes. Now, with everything being charged, he is still pending more charges out of those counties as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, Captain David Smith with us, Monroe County Sheriff's Office on Good Morning Keys. We also want to recognize members of the quarterly awards ceremony and marathon from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, awarded for exemplary and outstanding service to the agency and to the citizens of Monroe County. And included in that recognition, support member of the quarter, Kevin Salterin Nava, deputy of the quarter, David Parker. And the awards sponsor was in present as well with the sheriff, and that's Blue Marlin Jewelry owner Armando Gonzalez, who himself is a former first responder from Miami-Dade. So want to thank all of those participants and awardees for their exemplary service, as we also want to thank everybody who serves our community in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, and thanks goes out to the community as well, as their support for the sheriff's office is unmatched. And the sheriff was able to recognize these two individuals for a support member of the quarter, which is Kevin Nova. And Mr. Nova is our maintenance individual that works on our jail facility and also our headquarters. He does all of the maintenance. He's been working with us for about, I think, over 10 years, and he's our point of contact. So if something's going wrong in the building, we need something, the sheriff calls this guy, and he is on top of his game. So, very well deserved. And also Deputy of the Quarter, David Parker. He works in the Upper Keys for Captain Brian, and he was very instrumental in one of the cases we had up in the Upper Keys. The sheriff may have talked about it. There was multiple car burglaries going on in one area, and he was able to, do an investigation, locate the car, and they set up a perimeter, and we actually called out a drone team, and we found the suspect. But he was very instrumental in doing some back research, finding a suspect's vehicle. So, very well deserved for Deputy David Parker. And, and always thank you to Sheriff's friend and our friend at the Sheriff's Office, Blue Mar and the Jewelry, Armando Gonzalez, a great individual. He's a very humble gentleman, and, we thank him a lot.
Yes, indeed. And Captain, we thank you so very much as well. You are personally involved in so many wonderful community events and causes and initiatives, including Leadership Monroe and so many others. So we thank you for your years of unselfish service to our community.
Thank you, and Michael. We appreciate it, and the sheriff does afford the captains and myself so many opportunities to be partners within the community. And the sheriff is a great individual, a great mentor, and he definitely is the leader in what we should do within the community and how we should be partners. So we thank you as the radio station, Michael, like always, to getting our message out and your support with our deputies.
It is my pleasure. I'm humbled to do so. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here in your very, very busy day and schedule, Captain. We look forward to speaking again at some future date. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your service. Take care. It is Captain David Smith, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And as always, we'll have breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news brought to you at least every half hour. Weather around the clock. We are completely dialed into the Keys, and we'll bring it to you as well as everything happening nationally and internationally, as well as across the state of Florida. It's all here on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thank you for listening.